Morning. Somewhere over the Persian Gulf, radars detect an unidentified object. Within seconds, communication begins between the command centers of 3 countries, fingers on buttons, the entire region on the edge of reflex. This is not a movie. This is the reality we are living in right now. Iran is a country that some call a terrorist state, while others call it a civilization with a millennia-long history and a legitimate right to self-defense. Diplomats no longer exchange formal notes. Over the Middle East, something far heavier than words is circling. Today we will break down why the situation around Iran is not just another flare-up, but a pivotal moment in global geopolitics. And why the answer to the question, what happens next, lies not only in negotiation rooms, but also aboard aircraft flying at an altitude of about 49,000 feet, invisible to most of the world's radar systems. Modern Iran begins in 1979. The Islamic Revolution turned the country into not just a regional player, but a challenge to the entire Middle Eastern order. For the United States, it has meant decades of containment policy, hostages, proxy wars, sanctions. For Israel, it is a matter of survival, especially against the backdrop of the nuclear program and the exchange of strikes in recent years. For a long time, the region balanced between rivalry and cautious dialogue, but tensions have only intensified. The key to everything is the nuclear program. Tehran claims peaceful intentions, yet uranium enrichment levels are approaching the threshold required for weaponization. The 2015 agreement was meant to stop this, but after the United States withdrew in 2018, the restrictions effectively disappeared, and negotiations reached a dead end. For Iran, nuclear weapons are not only power, but a guarantee of regime survival. The lessons of Libya, Iraq, and North Korea have been learned. The Middle East today is a pressure cooker. No one wants war, but everyone is preparing for it. Right now, the situation is moving into a hot phase. Explosions, strikes, missile exchanges, and drone attacks are being recorded across the region. The conflict is already sounding with air raid sirens. Many are talking about the beginning of World War III. The United States regularly deploys carrier strike groups and increases the presence of fighter aircraft. But there is one tool that stands apart, one that does not depend on regional bases or allied permissions, an instrument of global reach. And this is where the picture becomes truly interesting. The Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit is a long-range strategic stealth bomber designed to penetrate the densest air defense systems and strike critical targets. Its combat radius exceeds 6,800 miles without refueling, and with aerial refueling it effectively becomes intercontinental without limits, allowing missions to be flown directly from Whiteman Air Force Base in the United States to anywhere in the world. Its cruising altitude is about 49,000 feet. The crew consists of 2 pilots, and its maximum payload reaches approximately 25 tons, carried in internal bays to preserve stealth characteristics. The flying wing design, the use of composite materials, and radar-absorbent coating minimize its radar cross-section to a level where, for most radar systems, the aircraft appears as a small object. The B-2 is equipped with 4 F118 GE100 turbofan engines integrated into the airframe to reduce thermal and radar visibility. As for armament, the B-2 can employ a wide range of precision-guided munitions, JDAM-guided bombs of various weights, laser-guided munitions, as well as B-61 and B-83 nuclear bombs as part of the U.S. Strategic Nuclear Triad. A special place is held by the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, an ultra-heavy bunker-buster bomb weighing about 30,000 pounds, designed to destroy deeply buried underground facilities protected by thick layers of concrete or rock. An aircraft capable of penetrating multi-layered defenses unnoticed, striking the most heavily protected targets and returning, leaving behind not only destruction, but also a clear political signal. Now, the B-2 is no longer a theoretical deterrent factor, but an active participant in the conflict. The aircraft is genuinely involved in operations and is in a combat employment cycle, not demonstrative deployments. Its flights as part of Bomber Task Force missions in Europe, the Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific region are part of the active phase of confrontation, with readiness for immediate strikes and the execution of specific objectives within the current campaign. Alongside the stealthy B-2 in this strategic picture stands another instrument. If the Spirit operates quietly and almost invisibly, the Rockwell B-1B Lancer works differently. It is not a shadow in the sky. It is speed, mass, and concentrated firepower. The B-1B is a supersonic strategic bomber with variable sweep wings. Its wings can change their sweep angle during flight, extended for efficient cruising and swept back for high-speed penetration. Its maximum speed exceeds Mach 1.2, meaning over 930 miles per hour, and its combat radius is more than 3,400 miles without refueling. With aerial refueling, it is also capable of intercontinental operations. The crew consists of 4 people, and its maximum payload reaches approximately 75,000 pounds, the highest among U.S. bombers. Originally, the B-1 was designed as a nuclear carrier to penetrate Soviet air defenses at low altitude, using terrain-following flight for concealment. After the end of the Cold War, the aircraft was reoriented toward conventional strikes and became one of the most actively used bombers of the U.S. Air Force. Its arsenal is a separate story. The B-1B can carry up to 24 AGM-158 JASSM cruise missiles or their extended-range version, the JASSM-ER, with a range of over 560 miles. This means the aircraft can remain outside the reach of most modern air defense systems while delivering strikes from significant distance. In addition, it employs a wide range of precision-guided munitions, including JDAMs, laser-guided bombs, and LRASM anti-ship missiles. Its large internal bays allow different types of weapons to be combined within a single mission, adapting to a specific scenario. Unlike the B-2, which operates with precision against the most heavily protected targets, the B-1B is often used as a platform for large-scale strikes. During operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, it regularly carried out missions supporting ground forces, conducting extended combat patrols and responding quickly to changing conditions. High speed, significant payload, and the ability to rapidly retarget in the air made it one of the key instruments in low and medium-intensity conflicts. Given that the escalation has already moved into an active phase, the role of the B-1B looks different. This is no longer about demonstrating presence, but about the real use of force. Against the backdrop of U.S. strikes on targets in the region and Iran's retaliatory attacks, the B-1B is being used as a platform for rapid, large-scale engagement. Its involvement means the capability to simultaneously launch a large number of long-range missiles against multiple targets, from air defense positions and missile systems to ammunition depots and command infrastructure. Thanks to the range of its weapons, the aircraft can operate outside dense air defense coverage while remaining in a relatively safe zone. Let us return to the main question. Why strategic bombers rather than carrier groups, ballistic missiles, or pinpoint special operations forces missions? First, autonomy. A strike on Iran is not only a military decision, but also a diplomatic labyrinth. Countries in the region fear becoming a launch pad for a major war. Strategic bombers remove this dependency. They take off from U.S. territory or from distant bases, carry out the mission, and return without requiring public approval from any Middle Eastern capital. This minimizes the political footprint and reduces the risk of drawing allies into direct responsibility. Second, the technical ability to reach complex targets. Underground facilities protected by layers of concrete and rock were designed specifically to survive conventional airstrikes. Here, it is not about quantity, but the ability to penetrate deeper. That is why platforms like the B-2 with ultra-heavy bunker-busting munitions remain a unique instrument. The B-1B, in turn, can deliver a massive volley of long-range missiles, overwhelming defense systems, and opening a corridor for further action. Third, the psychological factor. Every deployment of strategic aviation is not only military logistics, but also a demonstration of intent. It is a signal read in Tehran, Beijing, and Moscow. And this is where the conflict takes on a global dimension. China and Russia openly support Iran at the diplomatic level, condemning U.S. strikes and promoting alternative security frameworks. For Beijing, it is a matter of energy routes and the balance of power in the region. For Moscow, it is another front in geopolitical confrontation with the West. At the same time, most European states, despite calls for de-escalation, effectively side with Washington, strengthening military cooperation and supporting sanctions pressure. The world is dividing not formally into blocs, but along lines of support and opposition. We live in a time when war is not declared by manifesto. It accumulates gradually, in uranium enrichment levels, in fleet movements, in satellite images showing new marks on runways. The conflict around Iran is no longer a local crisis. It is a test of the deterrence system, the ability of diplomacy to function under pressure, and the role of technological superiority in the modern world. The B-2 and B-1B in this framework are more than just aircraft. They are instruments that allow action at long range, quickly and without direct dependence on foreign territory. Will it all end with a limited operation and a return to negotiations? Or is the world standing on the threshold of a larger confrontation between global centers of power? And is the scenario many are afraid even to voice truly possible, the beginning of World War III? Write in the comments how you see events unfolding. Leave a like if the topic matters to you and you want more in-depth analysis without unnecessary noise. Thank you for watching.